People are genuinely shocked and appalled that the people running the studio are involved with the development of the films post just giving them money to make them. I mean, it's not everybody, and you have to understand this is just how it works. That's why the universe actually works. So linked down below is an interview by a person who actually works on multiple big budget films from Hollywood, and he's happened to have worked with Marvel Studios as well. You guys can check out the video. It's a great interview. Some guys were able to get with him on YouTube, and kind of gives you a little bit more insight. And his work on Marvel Studios films is specifically brought up, and articles have reported on this, on the fact that he says that the executives, such as Kevin Feige and others, are heavily involved with the post-production and editing of these films, like to the point where they're in there almost cutting the film along with. Now, some people are mad at this. I don't get why. The best thing I can give you that's an example is Star Wars Episode 2. If you guys ever watched that making of documentary that was part of the DVD and Blu-rays early on, where Lucas comes in and they show him a model of CG Yoda flipping around, and he goes, "Can you make the cape sway a little more and to the left?" And then he leaves, comes back 2 weeks later and they got the new model. He goes, "Yeah, but now we need to just do this." And then he leaves again, and he's just like, "Oh." And they just all sit around having to do it every time. If Kevin Feige is on hand with everything, he can make sure that everything feels coherent and clicks together. Unlike what so many people hate about modern day Star Wars, where Kathleen Kennedy is public enemy number one of the people because she's not involved like Kevin Feige is, for example, right? So I don't know why anybody would kind of be shocked that this is the way Marvel Studios and Kevin handles things, because that's the way he's handled things from the very onset of the MCU. He wanted to be hands-on, he wanted to have an approach, he wanted to be there when they're editing the films, to the music, to shooting the scenes, to, you know, even the most minor, minute things, because it's all how it's presented. If you let a director go off on their own and do whatever they want, when you get the end result, if it doesn't click with your universe, it starts to fall apart. This is what Edgar Wright wanted to do. He wanted to make a campy 60s comedy out of Ant-Man. They kept many elements, but they removed a lot of the cheesiness and, you know, like the baggy Hank Pym suit that he was going to wear and the helmet that looked like out of the comics from the 60s because it looked ridiculous. So again, sometimes you just need somebody to be able to sit there and be like, "No, just do this. This is the vision. Go through with it. Don't mess around with it," because that's what you're doing. You're hired to do it. So again, it sounds great that they have a hand-on approach with everything because it all makes sense working as one. Just look at the Marvel Netflix shows. Where was Avengers Tower?